and sing, sing, sing to the Maker too. It's a call of life to the giver, when waves and waters roll. It's a call of life to the giver, when high tides break on the shore. And by the Spirit, you and I can join our voice to the holy cry, and sing, sing, sing to the Maker too. It's the chorus of all creation. It's sung by all living things. It's the chorus of all creation, a song the universe sings. And by the Spirit, you and I can join our voice to the holy cry, and sing, sing, sing to the Maker too.
We acknowledge that St. Andrew's United Church in Hamilton is on the traditional lands of the Mushkegowuk peoples, the Haudenosaunee peoples, the Anquahanwe peoples, and the Anishinaabeg peoples. We are a community of faith in the Horseshoe Falls Regional Council of the United Church of Canada. Let us gather our hearts and minds as we prepare for worship by listening to the work of the community. And the first piece of that work looks like me saying to all of you, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to St. Andrew's United Church. I am the Reverend Debbie McMillan. Behind me and off to the left is Cindy Jariga, who is our music director. On tech today, we have Nate and Aiden. And wherever you are, we welcome you into this space today. We are an open-minded, open-hearted, LGBTQ2S affirming community, seeking to follow in the way of Jesus and engage in the work of compassion, love, and justice. Wherever you are in your faith journey and with whatever questions you carry, you are welcome here. Whomever you love, whatever your gender identity, your sexual orientation, your ethnicity, race, or ability, you are welcome here. Everyone of all ages is welcome here. Let's begin with a few more announcements. The National Lenten Devotional Program continues this week, Tuesday at 1 p.m. It was very well attended. We had 75 registrants, 4 of whom were bringing their entire church groups to the meeting, so it was more like we had 90 or 100 folks from across Canada participating in that time. If you would like to be part of the Lenten Devotional Program, please let me know, and I can get you signed up and signed in. This week, the first module of Ministry and Personnel Training will be taking place. It is offered by the Horseshoe Falls Regional Council. This will be M&P Basics, which will happen on Thursday, March 17th at 7 to 9. There will be a later session in April on the 21st from 7 to 9. More details can be found about the dates and the times on our community board out in the hall. There is no cost to participate. Sunday school teachers, if you have an interest in helping, Megan would love to hear from you. Megan, do you want to flap your arm there? There we go. Her email address is kidsandyouth@standrewsunitedhamilton.ca. All ages will be combined in the CE hall for now due to COVID regulations. 2 teachers are required for each Sunday. A lesson plan will be emailed to you no later than the Thursday evening before the Sunday, consisting of a story, craft, and a game or activity. Everything will be prepared and ready to go in the CE hall before church begins on Sunday. You may have noticed we have pie. You may have noticed if you came in that way that we have chili. Was there soup this year as well? Anybody nodding? Yes, okay, good. So it is soup chili day today. Is there any logistical stuff that I need to announce, or would you like to come up, Margie? Okay, perfect.
So, this is our fabulous trophy that you all covet to have in your house. I know it. This one, however, is for the soup. The chili one is AWOL. Somebody's got to have it. I know you've treasured it. It's time to give it up. So next week we'll tell you the winners. We have these cups for the soup. They are compostable. And we have the big green compost bins there. So after your soup or chili, you just put your cup in the compost, and the compost will be taken after. It's great. So we have cups for the soup side, and cups for the chili side, and spoons along the middle. And so you'll eat your soups, try them out, and when you're finished, you lay your spoon in front of the one you like best. Then you go over to the other side, grab a new one. After you've put the old one into the compost, grab your new spoon, and then you go and taste those, and once again, leave your spoon in front of the one you like best. At the same time, for concurrent activity, we will have pie. And Bob has made coffee. So we have many pies, and this is, I think, typical of St. Andrews. There's 3 soups, there's 3 chilies, and there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pies? I don't know. Anyway, we've had a few chairs laid out if you want to sit for a bit. We have some tables for distancing. If I can have someone else help on one side or the other to ladle stuff into cups, that would be great. Remember your mask. We look after each other and have a grand old time.
Thank you, Margie. With regards to mask wearing and being back in the sanctuary and doing stuff that looks kind of familiar to all of you, remember, I'm still new here. I would like to bring you up to speed on what we are doing with the protocols. So this information has already appeared in the loop. You will see that we have the self-assessment screening posters on the doors coming in. We encourage all of you, if you are not feeling well, please stay home. This isn't just about COVID. This is about influenza. This is about other viruses that we don't want to spread. So please stay at home if you're not feeling well. Please respect the physical boundaries put in place for our staff in the sanctuary. Please continue to use hand sanitizer. In accordance with provincial guidelines, in-person Sunday worship resumed on March 6th with masks worn, 6 feet of social distancing, and effective March 21st, 2022. Mask wearing is optional. It is an individual person's choice according to provincial guidelines. However, mask wearing is encouraged in the sanctuary. Social distancing. As provincial guidelines continue to change, all sanctuary seating has been reopened to provide maximum space for safe seating. Our live streaming program will continue. Fans are still not encouraged by public health, therefore ventilation will be provided by opening the windows, as you can see. Dress accordingly. A reminder that quiet or low-key singing will be permitted with or without masks. That's the March 21st deadline there. Choir will not resume until further notice. Solos and readings will resume in a safe manner, respecting distancing and masking rules. Hymn books and Bibles, these items will sit for a week before being used again. Therefore, they may be used during a Sunday service by individual choice. The Finance Committee has suggested that PAR, Canada Helps website, or checks be mailed directly to the church office for donation. Offering plates will be in their usual spots. Please continue to support St. Andrew's as our church continues to require maintenance and pay bills for things like heating, water, and, yes, staffing. CE Hall events and outside groups were resumed Tuesday, March the 2nd, with masks worn, unless seated and drinking or eating, and social distancing. Effective March 21st, 2022, masks are not mandatory in most public settings. While respecting individual choice, masks are encouraged to be worn when gathering near others in the church. Washrooms. We continue to suggest that one person at a time enter the washrooms and request that counter, sink, etc. be wiped after using. On April 27th, 2022, COVID-19 provincial guidelines may change again to discontinue all COVID-19 restrictions. St. Andrew's will follow those changes. However, for the safety of our congregation members, masks will still be encouraged in some settings. The St. Andrew's Board is carefully taking these measures to protect everyone using the building. After March 21st, it will be up to each individual to decide how they are going to protect themselves and others. It is out of respect for everyone's personal choices regarding our safety that we will move forward and keep St. Andrew's in a safe space. If you have any questions about what I have read, please contact, I'm going to throw this at you, Janice. There we are. Janice can answer those questions. And so we gather together on this National Affirming Sunday, which is inspired by Pi Day. Well, what is Pi? Pi is an acronym, and it stands for public, intentional, and explicit. Those are the standards we hold ourselves and our welcome to when we seek to live into being affirming. You can see our affirming banner. When we say affirming or welcoming, we are saying we are inclusive. And every year has a theme, and this year's theme is everyone gets a slice. And look at all the options for slices of pie. Looking at the LGBTQIA2 spirited acronym, which represents an endless diversity of identities and expressions, we acknowledge that some of the people who are represented by these letters often get left out entirely and intentionally, and it is undeserved. Today we are invited to consider which folks we may not have included in our affirming program and in our educational efforts and take strides to remedy that. So today, let's make sure that everyone gets a slice. Let's begin celebrating the all-inclusive love of God, worshiping our Maker who delights in diversity, worshiping the lover who in Jesus reached out and accepted and embraced everyone despite all social, class, ethnic, and spiritual barriers, worshiping the Keeper, the Spirit, who continues to break down the walls that divide us. Thanks be to God. Those words came to us from one of the United Church Pi and Affirming Worship resources. As we light our candle, let us remember there was someone who said such wonderful things and did some amazing things that people couldn't help but follow him. As they followed, they asked lots of questions. And once they asked him who he was, and he said, I am the light. Our first hymn this morning is number 603, In Loving Partnership We Come. Friends, our words of confession come from the United Church of Canada service book called Celebrate God's Presence. So let's do that through confession. Will you join with me in prayer? When we have afflicted others, whether by our own power or by our silent support of systems which oppress, enslave, and crush, break us down, O God. When we have perplexed others and purposely confused them for our own gain or driven them to despair, break us down, Lord. When we have persecuted others, casting them out of our community, leaving them forsaken and alone, break us down, God. when we have struck down others, casting stones on their dreams and hopes until they are destroyed, break us down, O God. Then broken, we carry in our bodies the death of Jesus, so that life of Jesus may be made visible in our bodies. Make us, God, with the power which belongs to only you, make us into your treasure. Make us, O God. We are the clay and you are the potter. We are the work of your hands. Make us, O God. Do not be exceedingly angry and do not remember iniquity forever. Now consider, we are all your people. Make us, O God. Amen. Friends, I want to assure you that God hears our confessions, God accepts our confessions, and God wipes the slate clean, making a new day in God's relationship with all of us. Thanks be to God for that gift. Our next hymn is number 605, Jesus, Teacher, Brave and Bold.
I know I love pie. There are so many different flavors. From apple, blueberry, pecan, lemon meringue, peach, cherry, strawberry, rhubarb, pumpkin, and the list can go on. Everyone who makes pies can have different ways of making them, from using the same pie tin every time or using different ones each time, to making the crust from scratch or using store-bought. Each pie recipe is different, from the flavor of that pie to the quantities of the ingredients in each recipe, from a difference in the amount of sugar or flour. Pies have many different ingredients and are made in many different ways, just like us. When we go to our PIE acronym, being public, intentional, and explicit is key to both being an ally to the 2S LGBTQ+ community and enacting God's transgressive love in the world. God's love is public, intentional, and explicit for all of creation. As created beings, it is important that we model God's love the best we can to show we are living in God's way. Now the children may follow me as we go to our group to talk more about this.
Mask on, mask off. All right. Hi. Today's reading is from the book of John, chapter 4, verses 7 to 21. Beloved, let us love one another, because love is from God. Everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, for God is love. God's love was revealed among us in this way. God sent his only Son into the world so that we might live through him. In this is love, Not that we loved God, but that he loved us and sent his Son to be the atoning sacrifice for our sins. Beloved,